You're right guys, I'm Kie Willis from Storm Freerun and this is a tutorial on basic landing techniques. It's the first technique we're going to look at is how to absorb impact on a vertical drop. To do this, you're going to want to find yourself a wall about waist height, not too much higher because you're really working on the technique at this point and you don't want to damage yourself. So when standing on top of the wall, you don't want to drop from a vertical position. You already want to reduce the impact by lowering yourself down. So the center of gravity in your body is already a lot lower and you're not going to be absorbing as much force. Then as you're dropping off, you want to look at where you're placing your feet the whole time, keeping your head over, keeping your chest over your knees, landing on the balls of your feet. Then as you drop off the wall, you're going to reach out with your feet to the floor and absorb the landing. Notice how I'm landing on the balls of my feet. I'm not over bending my legs and my chest is the whole time above my knees and feet, creating a straight line down, allowing the impact to be absorbed through my whole body. As I land, my arms are coming forwards, helping to bring my chest over my knees, in line with my toes, helping to absorb the force like a spring. Big things to avoid when you're doing this technique is to make sure you don't over bend your back to absorb the impact. That's going to load your back too much and it's going to give you a lot of problems. Also, don't over squat, it's going to create more problems as well. Another really big thing to consider is to make sure you're not landing with your feet duck-footed or even turned inwards. Try and get them to be as straight as possible to make sure the correct alignment of your body is in place, because that's going to really benefit you later on in parkour. Another thing I can't stress enough is how important it is to land on the balls of your feet. Make sure your heels aren't hitting the floor, but also make sure you're not landing on the tip of your toes because that's not great either. I'm going to show you guys some examples of how much knee bend I use for low impact and then also high impact, so you can get a good example of how much you want to be squatting when you're landing. Alright, so the next basic landing technique we're going to be working on is how to absorb impact with forward momentum. So for this we've got a nice progression. To start with, you're going to find yourself just an open bit of ground, get down into a crouch, and all you're going to do is put your hands out like this and push yourself up through. You're going to go down into the crouch, put both hands out and push and go up through into a run. Just do that a few times until you feel comfortable, and then we're going to start taking it to height. Okay, so to keep it nice and safe to begin with, you're going to find yourself something that's about knee height that you're going to be able to jump off. So this time's a little bit different. You're going to jump with some forward momentum. As you land, you're going to use the same kind of technique as we used in the progression before, where you're going to land with a split step and then place your hands down on the floor and pull yourself through into upright position. As you're landing, you don't want to bend your knees as much as you do on a vertical drop, because you're going to try and transfer that force into forward momentum rather than just straight absorbing everything through your legs. So a big thing to pay attention to on this landing that's different to the vertical drop landing is as you're landing, your chest is going to be quite a lot further forwards. The line crossed between your knee and your toes is going to be at more of an angle rather than a vertical angle, and this is going to help dissipate the force forwards to continue with the momentum. So there's some really big things you've got to make sure you avoid here. Of course, the obvious heel striking is never a good thing. You never want to land heels first. You want to make sure you're always on the balls of your feet. Also, make sure you're not landing, absorbing the force, and then pushing forwards. You want to use that full momentum to help absorb with you, so you're not over-compressing and overloading your joints and muscles. Alternatively, you also want to make sure that you're not leaning so far forwards that you're overloading your hands and driving your chest into the floor. You're going to really hurt your hands, and it's going to kind of suck if you smash your face into the floor as well, because you can't take the force. It's really important to consider that these techniques take time and effort to hone. It's not something as simple as you just learn the move, then you can do it. You've got to really work on it and perfect it before you can take it to high heights. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe to Storm for more content and click that little bell button, and you'll get a notification every time you upload a new video. Also, let us know in the comments down below what tutorial you want us to do in next week's episode. So check out the links in our description. There's a link to our Patreon if you want to help us support make more videos like this. And there's also a link to our shop where we've got some new Storm Freerun clothing coming soon.